Hello. So I have been fascinated lately with old vintage Japanese guitars. Um, I think it's a good way for me to start to get into um, like fixing up older guitars without having to spend a lot of money, and they're still worth a little bit of money. So it's not like a total waste. A lot of these guitars were old vintage, old vintage, were old economy style guitars. Um, so some of them most of them were obviously owned by amateurs. So a lot of the repairs on them are kind of what you'll see every day as a luthier, people trying to mess with their guitars. And I think it's a good start instead of digging into, more valuable guitars. Start with lower level um, Japanese, early Japanese pre-lawsuit guitars, or even into the lawsuit guitars. This one here, there's not a whole lot of information about it online. Really, not any. I mean, I found a couple little sites or like personal pages about this guitar. There's two different iterations, but they're from the same company. So that what I have come to believe this to be is a Kawaii Ep85, and this is pre-lawsuit, like I said. It's a 3/4 scale, so it's super short scale. Not super short, but it's short scale. It's got pretty much everything here that needs to be here to play, but it's got a lot of issues. I also have the little bridge that goes on here. It is broken. I'll go through all the issues later, but there's also guitars exactly like this labeled as St. George. This one unfortunately has nothing on the headstock, but the way the glue pattern is, it looks like it is a Kawai stamp. Also, I can tell by the knobs, most of the ones I'm seeing online that are St. George's have smaller knobs in clusters of 3. The ones I have seen for Kawai are these exact knobs. They're also in a cluster of 3. I haven't seen any that have just 2 knobs. And also, I haven't seen any that have this wet slide. I think it's a wet slide decal. Most of them I see, or all of them that I see online, have a diamond shaped one. So that makes me kind of think that this is an early one, considering it's got the 2 knobs. I don't know. And this older style steel reinforced neck decal. Obviously, all of them are obviously steel reinforced necks, because that's just what they did back then, especially to save money. So it just makes me think that this one's a little older. Somewhere, I don't know when they started making them. I don't know anything about these. I know I've seen a lot that are 65, or not a lot. I've seen 2 that are from 1965, and they have the triangular steel reinforced decal up top. So I'm not sure if this is newer or older. I definitely think it's definitely older, because Kawai also made, I think I'm saying that right, they also made the same model with a bolt-on neck. This is a set neck. And also, once they started doing those bolt-on necks, they gave them like the traditional Tesco, I don't know, style headstock. So more of like your inline 6 headstock. So I think it's a little older. We'll go through some of the issues here on this guitar. First of all, the neck is just, I won't be able to see this, but I can move it. Another thing that I didn't see posted on the ad from Craig, or I bought this on eBay, hence this beautiful tape job. I didn't think that thing would move around anyways. But yeah, this has a big old hole drilled in here. I'm guessing somebody has a screw pushed in through here to try to keep this heel down. That's not gonna fly. But otherwise the neck seems, I mean, I really like the shape of the neck. It's got a slight bow to it. Not bad at all. It might have, it's hard to tell if that's just the nut. I have to get the nut off. The nut is also, somebody glued it on. Somebody was working on this thing before, and I think they were using some Gorilla Glue or something really nasty. So that's gonna be fun to get off. But that nut is not even close to being precise in the right spot. The frets look okay. I might be able to reuse them, but I might want to just put some fatter ones on here anyways. We'll see. The fretboard seems all right. No major gouges. There's a couple like decent ones around the 1 and 2. Headstock looks good. Tuners all function, and I believe they are original. Yeah, that was that paint. They try to fix this paint with a little paint here. I also have the binding off here. The volume knob seems like it's gonna function. It's nice. It's got resistance, you know, and it's smooth. This one, on the other hand, will keep spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. So that one's probably shot. The jack is inside of here. So we'll see the condition of that. I don't know if these had foam pads under here at some point or not. But it's got a bunch of either dirt or old, I think it's foam. Probably to keep these baffled a little bit. So I'll end up taking all of the, pretty much I'm gonna have to take it all apart. The worst of it is the back, the butt of the guitar. I think somebody dropped it on the tailpiece here. So that's gonna have to come off, and I'm gonna have to somebody's tried to fix this here and done it very poorly, and also, you know, try to put some sort of paint on there. What I think I might have to do is try to take this top off, which doesn't really matter too much because this binding, you know, it's not doing great. So if I can get this binding off of here and try to scrape this top off, I need to get a block or something behind here that I can support this butt. Also, this is kind of upsetting. You can see, I don't know if you can see that with the wide angle. This top is set down quite a bit just from string pressure, I'm sure. That's kind of pushed it down. And these wings on F-holes are quite a bit higher because I think the original arc, you know, was quite a bit higher. So this set down and these stayed the same, I'm guessing. So I don't know whether I have to try to push these down with some, you know, some support, run a little wood braces out to those to try to get them to sit down a little bit, or try to make a form, because it's definitely, this is wrong, or not wrong, but you know, it's not great, because you can see the back. I'm guessing they used probably the same like set for the back as the top. So I don't know if I could make a mold of the bottom and then try to force, if I take this top off, try to wet it with a little heat then and force it back to its bow. I don't know if it's worth it. Three-way selector is really cool. It seems to work. It's got a chicken head on it. They originally have a longer knob. I can't find those in mine anywhere. So that's gonna be fun trying to find one of those, or I might just fashion one out of wood. We'll see. If any of you have suggestions, let me know. Any information on these style of guitars, let me know. I don't see any numbers whatsoever. I'd be interested if I can take this top off. If there's gonna be any numbers in here. I took a flashlight, you know, and tried to shoot it inside of here, and I don't see anything. There is a block of, there's tissue paper wadded up here. I wonder if they try to push that in there when they're doing this. But there's also a block of wood floating around, which I think is, yeah, it looks exactly like a piece, the tail piece that would be in here. So I'm guessing that popped off when it had force on it. Yeah, I might pop these frets out. The binding, you can tell the wood's shrunk more than, obviously the steel doesn't shrink, so it's kind of ridgy on some of these, you know, longer peaks. And then I'd love to see if these pickups actually work, because that would suck if they didn't. So this is a bit of a gamble for me. I paid a little bit, probably too much for this guitar. I thought it was in a little better condition, but it'll be a little work. The paint job's okay, you know. It's got, you can see some like solvent washes, like airbrush blotting and stuff, because I'm guessing this was a really early, like, you know, airbrushing. Yeah, like here there's some blotting, I guess, blotching, I don't know what you call that, but where it doesn't totally burn or dissolve into there. Same with this side here. I don't know if you can see that too well, but overall I think it's a cool little guitar, and I really want to get it into the just playing condition. Yeah, you can see even here, excuse me, I'm getting over a cold, and it's also 5 degrees outside. I'm in my heated garage, and yeah, it's heated by a little Mr. Heater, so it's still pretty cold out here. So pardon me, but yeah, the neck looks like it's got some sort of Gorilla Glue or fish like old fish glue maybe. It's really thick. Somebody really put it in there, and you can see when I try to force it, it has no give. So I'm gonna have to try to do a little neck magic on this. Yeah, we'll see. There's a couple cracks, but I like the oldness. You know, it's vintage. The cracks coming from here because obviously when this hit, it's got the original knobs though. That's all I care about. Nah. All right, let me know what you think, and if you got any information, that'd be awesome.